here was a bit of a rebel in their youth?
Me.
Really?
When I look back, what I put my mum through, honestly, I mean, we used to go and sit in the park and drink cider and smoke. I was always bunking off school. She'd say be home at a certain time, and we didn't have mobiles in those days. We're talking about Victorian times here. So I couldn't ring her to say, you know, I was going to be late or anything. So she'd be on the doorstep. Or sometimes she'd get a cab. She'd be in her nightdress and she'd be driving around Islington trying to find me. One night she did find me kissing someone at a bus stop, and she dragged me in, brought me home and that. But I mean, I do. Looking back now, I gave her a terrible, terrible time. And even when I was a little bit older, so in my 20s, my mum would think we was in bed downstairs. We'd go out. So she's on the 3rd floor, we're on the ground floor. We'd go out, go and have a drink and go and meet everyone, come back in, and she wouldn't even know we'd been out. One night I got there, my dad was waiting for me. He'd fell asleep waiting, had a cigarette, all the ash was hanging down there. So I thought, what do I do? Do I wake him up and say I'm home now, or do I just leave it till the morning? So I woke him up and went, Dad, look, I'm really sorry, I've just come in. He went, it's all right, love, don't tell your mother.
I was always a rebel. I was always going against everything. Yeah, everything and everybody, particularly my mother. My dad was like yours. I could do no wrong, except this one time I went to this dance, this discotheque dance, and there was an upstairs to it, and I was smoking. I was about 14. And I looked up, and my dad was upstairs looking straight. And I just went, oh. So he didn't say anything, put me in the car, we got home, and he made me smoke. Do you remember a cheroot? The long black, like cigars, but thin, a whole one, and I was sick all over the place. And he said, if you're going to smoke, smoke properly. But he was smoking a fag while he was telling me. So, you know, all the time, I'm terrible.
Can I just say, I'm probably, a lot of the viewers don't agree with me, but I think that Malia is out of order a bit, because there are privileges that come with being in the president's daughter. Living in the White House is one of them.
Yes.
So I think they don't have long to go, so she should be on her best behaviour between now and December.
Oh,
so.
she's 18, she's having a fag.
She can have a fag next year.
Listen, I was driving when I was 12. I used to get in my mother's car and drive. Driving. And I used to go off and drive. Anyway, one day my granddad came round in a Cortina, and I thought, and I was probably then, I don't know what, 13,
I knew
14.
how to break into them.
Did you? So I get to my granddad's Cortina and drive down the drive, and I thought, oh, no, I'm not going to stop here. So I drove out, down the road. I only lived in a village, and down the next road. But then, as I was driving near to the main road, completely out of hand, I went and swizzed it. I went straight into this hedge through this lady's garden and ended up in her garden next to her house. And I just ran away.
What about you?
Yeah, they caught me. I was punished, but, you know, it didn't stop me. I loved it. Just the excitement of it. It's a bad thing. Don't do that at home. Don't do that at home. It's a very bad thing.
Do you know, there's obviously, you know, I love working on this show because I get to live my life through you lot. Because I was so scared of my parents. I didn't do any of that stuff.
Really? Were you so good?
I was so good. It's irritating. I was so good it would put your teeth on edge. It really was.
And what about your kids now? Are they?
Well, they're kind of not old enough yet to do this sort of thing. But do you know, well, Finley's 14, Amy's 9, and funnily enough, because I was so scared of doing anything wrong, I wanted to be a good girl. You know, I think it's obviously in you. You can have strict parents and you can rebel against them, or have strict parents and want to do the right thing. I happened to be the one that wanted to do the right thing. Funnily enough, I didn't rebel to my mid-30s. I could feel it building. Yeah. And then I finally went mad for it. And do you know what? And then I rebelled really badly and did it all wrong. I should have done it in my teens. But with my kids, I think the reins are going to be a bit looser.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I actually think it's good to make your mistakes when you're young and stupid. Don't do it when you're old and stupid like I did. You know, it does get it out of your system. You need to learn from your mistakes.
And you never have a secret boyfriend or anything?
No, honestly, no.
Andrea.
I passed my driving test. I was the designated driver, so I was so dull.
I had a secret boyfriend called Freddie, and I used to have to go to ballet school, and I was only about 12 or 13. And I used to say to Mum that I'd go to ballet school. She'd drop me for ballet school, I'd go into ballet school, and then I'd get dressed again and go out to meet Freddie down the shop. And I was snogging, I was only 13.
Weren't you scared of being cool?
No, I loved it. I really loved it.
because I'm still scared of my dad.
Oh.
You're like Julie Andrews, you, aren't you?
I wanted to be them when I was growing up. I know. Now I want to be Ava Gardner.
Of course.
For more Loose Women action, click here. And I'd subscribe if I were you. It's totally free and it means you'll be kept up to date with new videos and exclusive YouTube content.